Hello, my name is David Lopez, and today I will be talking about the game Bayonetta. Bayonetta was published in 2009 and quickly became the top-selling new release in Japan, selling 138,000 copies in the first week. In the game, you take control, and I very liberally use that term, of Bayonetta. She's a witch who fights angels because they keep on attacking her, but it might be her own fault for always attacking them. Then you have Rodon, who runs a bar / a magical blacksmith called the Gates of Hell. And then there is Jean, who fights with you, but then also against you. And honestly, I am fairly unsure about most of the story, to be honest, because of the limited time I was given, and how big the game is, therefore, making it an eternity to complete. Now, the cutscenes focus more on flashy cinematic moments than actual storytelling. Overall, this game left me quite confused in terms of the story, and I have heard similar things else. Which brings me to my main hang about this game. In a game about creating cinematic and fluid combat, it spends a lot of time pulling you away from that to show some pre-scripted event that looks awesome, but it has its impact lost by the fact that the player is doing nothing by only watching cutscenes. In fact, during my first hour of recording the game, I probably only spent 15 minutes actually playing the game, instead of just having to watch many cutscenes. Now don't get me wrong, I liked watching the cutscenes, but at some point I got bored of seeing a lot of them, especially the scene where Bayonetta revealed herself by taking off the white costume, that I felt like stopping from playing the game for a bit. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, things start to look up for Bayonetta. The combat is extremely fluid, and it looks unbelievable given the different combos she can perform. Though I am someone who comes from marathoning games such as Dark Souls, and seeing fast-paced combat is bound to impress me. But I don't really want to praise it too much, because I was left with the fact that the best moments for Bayonetta were outside of the gameplay sequences, and stuck in the realm of pre-rendered cutscenes. I think it would have been nice to do some of these moves yourself, although I can understand that there are limits to what a pre-programmed character can do. The combat relies on you using various combinations of moves with the different buttons. In my case, I use the PlayStation. But seriously, a mechanic I find useless is her guns for 90% of the time. It seemed like an unimpressive way to build this combat system until at a certain point something happened that changed everything for me. The Y button controlled her arms, and the B button controlled her abnormally long legs. This brings clarity to the combo system, and combined with the movement opens up the opportunity to pull off this crazy spin move attack where you actually spin the toggle. This was a great Ludo narrative merging. For this reason, the player will feel like it is the beginning of him understanding the combat system on a deeper level. But really, there are several button combinations that I could use, and I would easily forget the combinations at some points, so I would sometimes just smash random buttons. But of course, dodging is pretty easy to get used to when you see the enemy's weapons start to glow, which means that they would swing the weapon at you. With all that logic being said, my lack of finesse would net me some bronze and silver medals, although I would consider getting the silver ones luck because I never played the game before. As for players who prefer cinematic fighting styles, such as one of my friends who really enjoys Batman will find more enjoyment than me, given all the combos and enemies you encounter in the game have their own unique ways of attacking. Although I'm more of a person who has more interest in games like XCOM and Civilizations, I was left unimpressed by this game that I have only heard great things about. And that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed.